My name is Lisette Lagunas, and welcome back to week 2 of MPA 580. Today I will be discussing a few ethics theories and how they apply to public administrators. Let's get started. The first theory is by St. Thomas Aquinas, and that is a natural law theory. Aquinas believed that humanity's overall purpose is actually to achieve moral perfection in some way. We are essentially an image of God, and he believed that we carry similar traits. And another one of his beliefs is that following moral laws should be natural instinct because they are built into us. The next theory is by Immanuel Kant, and it is categorical imperative. In this theory, there is a big focus on leading by example. If you want others to act ethically, then one must act ethically themselves. The theory shows that all people are equal and that we must all go based on the same rules so that there can be peace amongst everybody. The next theory is by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, and it is actually utilitarianism. And this takes a stance on action and how actions are not necessarily good or bad, but there is more of a focus on what it produces. If it produces a great amount of good to more people, then it is the right action. And the less people that it benefits, then the more wrong the action is. The theory definitely focuses on morality and the consequences that the actions can bring. The next theory is by Thomas Hobbes, and that is a contractarianism theory. And this theory actually focuses on rational beings and the society actually seeking a way to promote the rules set by society in order to fulfill our own self-interest. The theory focuses on the idea that without rules, there would be more conflict and entitlement amongst us. So as humans or as a society, we accept a social contract to establish a prosperous society. One theory that we can apply to public administration would be natural law by Thomas Atkins, and that would be that idea that as humans we know the right thing to do. And in public administration, a lot of times we forget that we need to rely on our instinct as well. We know our morals and we know what the right thing to do. And as public administrators, we cannot let outside thoughts actually affect the way that we go about making a decision. We need to go about solving problems as individuals in the best way that we know how to and in the most ethically way that we know how to without letting As public administrators, utilitarianism is probably one of the theories that we need to actually abide by as our holy grail, because it actually states that we should act in ways that produce the most pleasure or happiness for the greatest number of people. And as public administrators, that is actually what we're doing essentially. We are trying to please and go about finding the best way to help the public as much as we can. And that is why public administration is so important to determine right from wrong, which is essentially what utilitarianism stands for. Virtue theory applies to public administrators because it focuses on morals and virtue in actions, which is what many of our leaders and administrators possess. There is a strong will to become a better leader and person that is not self-interested and oversees personal reward to really focus on good for the public. They are a virtuous person, an administrator that will see well, do well, and only uses their power for good, which is what the virtue theory actually implies. This concludes my week 2 presentation, and I will see you all next week.